Hello Internet, and welcome back to my series of film reviews. As of this recording, I am now 29 years old, having just celebrated my birthday. So this film review came right out of the blue for this special occasion. But anyway, the film we will be looking at today is a sequel to a 1988 film about a bioexorcist whose name you can't say 3 times in a row. But I'm gonna do it anyway. The film we're looking at today is Beetlejuice Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice Beetlejuice, I can't believe I said the name 4 times in a row that time, is a sequel to the 1988 Tim Burton film Beetlejuice. It followed a recently deceased couple played by Alec Baldwin and Gina Davis who can't leave their own home since they're ghosts. So they recruit Beetlejuice, played by Batman himself Michael Keaton, to scare the new inhabitants of their home away. Also starring in that movie were Catherine O'Hara as Delia Dietz and her daughter Lydia, played by Winona Ryder, who also played Joyce Byers, mother of Will and Jonathan Byers in Stranger Things. There is also the asshole teacher from Ferris Bueller's Day Off as Charles Dietz, who dies off screen in this movie due to the actor being a disgrace to humanity in real life. Beetlejuice was featured as a playable character in LEGO Dimensions as a fun pack, along with a buildable sandworm. Not the same ones as featured in Dune, mind you. There is also a Broadway musical version of Beetlejuice, which I had the pleasure of seeing in New York a couple years back. And in the particular performance I went to, Keith Habersberger from the Try Guys and Lou Berger played a small role. So it was a very special night for me and a friend who joined me on the New York trip. What I like about the sequel is that it stuck with using stop-motion animation and practical effects, instead of using modern CGI, unlike with most legacy sequels released in this day and age. Plus, Michael Keaton, Catherine O'Hara, and Winona Ryder reprised the roles from the original movie. And like the original, Michael Keaton has a short amount of screen time, and when he does appear on screen, he steals the show.
Well, I attended Juilliard. I'm a graduate of the Harvard Business School. I travel quite extensively. I lived through the Black Plague, and I had a pretty good time during that. I've seen The Exorcist about 167 times, and it keeps getting funnier every single time I see it. Not to mention the fact that you're talking to a dead guy. Now, what do you think? You think I'm qualified?
And the ever-famous F-bomb in a PG-rated family movie.
Nice fucking model!
As you'd expect, the sequel is given a PG-13 rating for violent content, macabre and bloody images, strong language, some suggestive material, and brief drug use. This movie also stars Jenna Ortega as Astrid, daughter of Lydia and granddaughter of Delia. There's Willem Dafoe, Monica Bellucci, Justin Theroux, and a bunch of other colorful characters. This will be a spoiler-free review of Beetlejuice Beetlejuice, so strap in, say his name 3 times, dance around the dinner table singing Day-O, and hop along as I give my thoughts on Beetlejuice Beetlejuice. This film retained the same amount of mystery, laughs, and scares that the first film had, and it wasn't trying to be a carbon copy of its predecessor, unlike most sequels nowadays. It told a much different story. So rather than focusing on a couple who were recently deceased, it focused on the family who moved into the house and how things have changed for the Dietzes following the events of the first Beetlejuice. And I like how this film used practical effects in stop-motion animation. And that goes to show that Tim Burton hasn't lost his touch, despite films like 2001's Planet of the Apes, 2010's Alice in Wonderland, or 2019's Dumbo. Now, 2019's Dumbo is a film I may consider doing a review of before we get Snow White in 2025, or the live-action Lilo and Stitch, but more on 2019's Dumbo another time. Jenna Ortega did a damn good job with her portrayal of Astrid, a girl who initially doesn't believe in ghosts until she finds herself caught up in some serious shit later on in the middle of the film. And Michael Keaton, despite the same amount of screen time he had in the previous film, was a standout as usual. He's still wacky, creepy, and laugh-out-loud funny as the ghost with the most. Although I would have loved to explore more of Monica Bellucci's character who can perform the Dementor's kiss on the dead, making them permanently dead and not living in the afterlife. Yeah, her character is Beetlejuice's ex-wife who has the ability to suck the souls out of her victims, like the Dementor's kiss from Harry Potter. And Willem Dafoe was also quite good as the ghost detective, always on Beetlejuice's trail. I would have loved to see more of him, too. The set pieces were all great, and that's another indication that despite recent flops from Tim Burton, he still hasn't lost his touch. I'm looking at you, 2019 Dumbo. Even the most iconic film directors have a best film and a worst film. In the case of Ridley Scott, his best films are a 3-way tie between Alien, Blade Runner, and Gladiator. And the ones that were not so great are Prometheus, Alien Covenant, and Napoleon. For Steven Spielberg, it's kind of obvious what his worst one in my opinion is, because I reviewed it on this channel. And in case you don't know, it's Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. Tim Burton is no different. He's not mainly known for making sequels outside of Batman Returns, but Beetlejuice Beetlejuice is a solid sequel to an unforgettable classic. I'm giving Beetlejuice Beetlejuice a 7 out of 10. Is this film better than its predecessor? Well, no, not really. But that's not to say that this is a bad film. No, far from it. It's actually really good. The return to stop-motion animation rather than modern CGI was a wise choice on Tim Burton's part. Because if this film used modern CGI, it would not look good in comparison. And I don't mean James Cameron's Avatar CGI, I mean Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania CGI. Tim Burton's films have a dark and mysterious tone to them. That's what he's mostly known for. Dark and mysterious with films like Corpse Bride, Edward Scissorhands, Batman, Batman Returns, Sleepy Hollow, and the underrated Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. And the score from Danny Elfman is always a joy to hear. Danny Elfman has scored a lot of films directed by Tim Burton, like Beetlejuice, Batman, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, Pee-wee's Big Adventure, Edward Scissorhands, and several more. This film had its moments of laughs and scares, like the first Beetlejuice did. Michael Keaton was a standout as usual, and I love how it focused on an older Lydia Deetz and her relationship with her estranged daughter, played by Jenna Ortega. Prior to seeing this movie, I had not seen the Netflix series Wednesday, but that show is on my radar. All I know is that Jenna Ortega slowly rose to stardom after not only her role in Wednesday, but also Scream 5 and Scream 6. And dare I say, after watching this movie, I kinda wanna check out Wednesday. Do I recommend Beetlejuice Beetlejuice? Yes I do. It's a worthy follow-up to an unforgettable classic, while retaining its charm, humor, and scares without botching the legacy of the original. It's hard to do that with legacy sequels nowadays. With every Independence Day resurgence, there's a Top Gun Maverick, and with every Matrix Resurrections, there's a Blade Runner 2049. And with every Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, there's a Beetlejuice Beetlejuice. So yes, Beetlejuice Beetlejuice, I can happily say, is 100% Wolf Boy approved. With that said, stay tuned for my upcoming review of Joker coming later this month. Till then, I'll see you all next time.